Good morning. Do you have the ability to do video? If you could get the jail staff to unmute the microphone. How long have you been here in Michigan? How do I look? He's having a rough go with it. All right. Good morning, everyone. But good morning to you also.
Hey, you're an idiot.
All rise, orders in court. We're going to 3B today, Sweet Tea. What you think of that?
What you think about that, Sweet Tea?
Yeah, Sweet Tea.
Sorry, we are a few minutes late. My fault. I was finishing up feeding the granddaughter and contemplating bringing her into the studio for a second. I said, not yet.
Not yet. We're so close.
We're so close. But I saw some great pictures of her dressed as an Easter bunny. Lady doing photos for her. Everybody's got a side hustle these days where they're selling this and selling that.
Yeah.
This lady's selling, clothing and whatnot, and needed a model. And my granddaughter did those today, and they are adorable. Can't wait to share them with everyone.
Awesome.
Sharing.
Well, here we are, brand new week, and looks like Judge Middleton's already starting out having one of those weeks, I guess.
3 cases with Middleton today. 3.
Boy, let me tell you, reading some stuff on the old Reddit, learned a lot about the Deborah Davis thing. It's quite a saga.
That's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Not something that I want to sit here and discuss. However, I will tell you, there is lots of information out there on the interwebs. It's a very interesting one, to say the least. I'll tell you something else that I got into a little bit. A YouTube channel, by the way, I can't stand, because I'm pretty sure it's those people that do the coin pusher bullshit that all you guys seem to believe is real. The what the hell's people. Very interesting thing though with them. Those of you who have seen anything, they have, Mikey, they have stalkers so bad that they bought property and moved in across the street from them in Florida. To the point where they were even putting up signs.
Oh, wow.
Bad things that happened to their daughter from it is absolutely insane stuff that's going on with that case. Again, long form stuff though, it's not our thing.
I'm so glad we are not that popular.
Right. But very interesting stuff. Both of those actually. I did a little deep dive into the rabbit hole, if you will, on both of them over the weekend.
Good to hear you were in the hole this weekend, Creed. That's awesome.
That's right. In the hole. 30 days in the hole. Anyways, let's head over and see what we're just rolling it or what?
Like I said, 3 cases.
All right.
Everyone different. One guy that surprisingly he knows. Surprise.
Somebody that he knows in his no way.
I don't feel bad for you, Mr. Arnett, but I feel bad for your lawyer.
Damn.
We stuck this in here for this morning because Mr. Gibson was scheduled to be here for criminal pretrials, and I knew it didn't fit very well. Then I had that other emergency case that was in there, and this is a criminal matter. It is a sentencing in the matter of People versus Gayun Lee Arnett. The file number is 23975FY. Mr. Arnett was charged with possession of methamphetamine, a 10-year felony offense. But in his defense, he wasn't really doing much of anything and had a small amount of methamphetamine pipe and some pills. The pipe tested positive for methamphetamine. The pills were oxycodone. The matter was reduced to a use of a controlled substance, which is a 1-year misdemeanor, and is set for sentencing today.
Poor Middleton, a little sick today, huh?
December 11th and had
Stuffy or upset one. Really broke up about this.
In fact, I don't think he was here. I think he had an infection.
Ooh.
And he was going to go to the day reporting center and test. The matter was set for sentencing for this day, which is actually January 19th. I don't think the 17th worked. We were here on the 16th. The defendant called his attorney, said his car wouldn't start. So we continued it to this morning. And so I did ask you to go test at the day reporting center when I saw you in December.
Sorry, hang on a second. Hold on just a second. Where are we at? 206.
Was there a fart in that house?
That was boy, that
Yes, we're juvenile around here. Please like button. That helps.
Farts are funny. That really sounded like
They really did.
And so here we are. I did
chair.
ask you to go test at the day.
I mean, the chair moved.
Him leaning forward was
That doesn't help
well timed.
But
so well timed.
The chair did move. I mean,
so here we are. I did ask you to go test at the day
I'm sorry. That's great though.
reporting center when I saw you in December. You said you weren't still using and it tested positive for methamphetamine and alcohol and marijuana. But alcohol and marijuana are legal. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
The defendant, from what I can see, he's doesn't have much of a recent criminal history. So I believe the defendant, I believe that he had a relapse and he's been on controlled substances, but I do believe that with his health and his age, I think he understands that this is something that he needs help for, and he needs to try to stop using methamphetamine. It can't be good for someone in their mid-60s to be using methamphetamine. It can't be healthy, and I think he realizes that. And so I think he's asking for the court to consider.
I was just going to say, isn't he a little old for meth?
I thought so too. I always think of meth as, a younger person thing,
Yeah.
Not only is he on the meth, but he's still got, it sounds like he's got a drinking problem. But I mean, maybe he doesn't have a weed problem. Maybe the weed is helping with the other problems. I don't know. But yeah, he's very long in the tooth for the meth.
Governor Lisa, thank you for the 2 bones.
We love you.
Hearts all around. C. Roach, thankfully, YouTube's got you covered. Go down there and hit it right here. Down below, right in this area, you'll see. Oh, you can't see it because your thing's up, but right down in this area here, you can hit the closed captioning. It doesn't do a very good job,
but you get the idea.
But it's there.
A probationary sentence or community service, but something other than jail time. Thank you.
What a lawyer.
Mr. Arnett, what would you like me to know?
You're welcome.
I'm deeply ashamed of myself. I'm deep in trouble. I'm not getting any younger, Your Honor. None of us are. And I do apologize for the other day with the car.
Well, if your car didn't start, it didn't start. I guess we'll just have to deal with that. But you're right. You and I spent time on the other side of the fence when we were young. Your problem back then was alcohol. Yeah. And Paul's right. I haven't seen you in 25 years or so. It's a long time between when.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. That's always been live for me on slot streams, and I have to turn them off all the time.
Interesting.
So that's why is that for that? Seriously, it's annoying. I'll go on to live slot streams all the time, and it's just it captions all over it.
Maybe it's because it's hard for them to understand what we're saying.
Maybe we talk weird.
We were dealing with each other, and you
childhood friends, perhaps.
Now you've got a struggle with methamphetamine, which is right. You're not getting any younger, and this is the last thing you need. One option is just put you in jail for a while, 30, 60, 90 days, and let you dry out. Another option is what your lawyer is requesting, that I do some sort of probation. I don't know how this oxycodone fits into the equation. And you're still drinking, but not to the extent that you got drinking and driving charges. If I put you on probation, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to smoke weed, you won't be able to drink alcohol, and you won't be able to use any controlled substance. And you're gonna test. Do you really want to do that?
Yeah,
You do?
I think I'm worth one last shot, Ronnie.
Well, it's a matter of life and death at this point. You're right, we're not getting any younger.
Nancy, thank you.
Younger
Wow,
next,
thank you, Nancy.
which says all you have to do is exercise vigorously 7 days a week.
Not to interrupt, but I tried that for 7 years straight, 7 days a week, and I blew up my L4 disc.
What were you doing, running?
No, working at maintenance at a little place over there by Jim Wiseman's place there at Swiss Valley, called the Sanctuary at Wildwood.
Okay. Are you still on Second Avenue?
Not anymore, no.
Well, I don't know if I knew what your current address was. Just tell me the street where you're living.
Right now on West Street.
All right. Are you together?
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right.
41 years, and I'm proud. But you're right, my life, that's one thing I did right. I stuck it out with her.
More like she stuck it out with you.
Yeah.
Sounds like a problem.
Bad choice of words, I'm sorry.
What it really was a meth pipe, which was almost a paraphernalia charge, and 4 pills. I was disappointed. And you still owe me for that test.
I haven't forgot you, Jan.
I'll put you on probation for 12 months. May last the whole 12 months. 61 days, credit 1. Of the 61 days, 60 are deferred. You are to pay a 0 fine. You don't have much money. But the thing is, if you got money to spend on methamphetamine and marijuana and alcohol, you ought to have money to pay these expenses.
I agree.
$75 crime victims' rights fee, $50. State minimum fee, $150 fine, $480 probation
Wouldn't
oversight
the most expensive thing he had be those pills, though?
I would think so, yeah.
for
Yeah.
a test. You get a substance abuse counseling and evaluation, no drugs and no alcohol. We're going to do testing.
Probably sells those pills for his
Some
meth
sort of
addiction.
Support group. AA, NA, Celebrate, any one of those will do. Thank you. Mr. Gibson, I hope I didn't make you stay hours and hours. I thought perhaps you'd be done, and I'm sorry we went almost till noon.
Well, I brought some work to be able to read over. So.
Do you have circuit court this afternoon?
No, but
Small talk.
there's always things that I can be reviewing to prepare for things that I
What
have.
comes next? All right, I appreciate that.
Ain't seen Slick in a while.
All right,
Mhm.
Mr. Arnett, I want you to take this form downstairs to the probation department. They will meet with you.
He's a big character in this whole thing, but he
If
kind
we
of
can make
flies
it work,
lower
good.
under the radar,
Not,
you know.
I'll give you
It really
60
does.
days to dry out. Let's add that money up.
It's quite a bit.
125, 150,
Ooh.
480,
Ooh.
plus the DRC is, I think, 52,
Yeah, he's always got the
807.
hair's always slicked back on point. Talks like Kermit. Perfect.
Looks like Eddie Monster.
All right,
Yes.
you're good to go.
I think you, Jan.
That's doing 1 year. All right.
1 year, that's a long time for that old dude to stay out of trouble.
That
Riley Clark.
oh God, we've got a teenager.
She's here with her lawyer, Mr. John Bush.
But
She is charged with a domestic assault for a circumstance that involved her
She beaten up.
grandmother.
Oh God.
Earlier this year, January 17th.
the landlord.
She was in an argument with her boyfriend, and it turned into this. And the defendant pled to domestic violence. This is also a case where the prosecutor has not objected to a deferral. Mr. Bush, what would you like me to know?
I believe the deferral is the best option, but there are caveats. She's 18. She's never worked. She's lost her ID. Apparently, it's going to be hard to even get employment.
What?
She has one child in foster care, and she's currently pregnant right now. So she has a lot
Oh my
of
God.
potential.
All right. So 18.
Lost her ID. The most heinous of all the things he just said.
I
Got one kid in foster care,
went on the way.
one on the way.
Never had a job in her life.
Nothing.
Can we not go get a license fairly easy? I know for here in South Carolina, very easy to go get a lost license. It's a small fee.
Maybe
It's
she
printed for
maybe
you
she has,
immediately.
maybe she has none of the other forms of identification though.
Okay, can you not get a job with just a? Can you not go get some sort of identification fairly easy?
I think it's going to be tough if she has nothing though. She doesn't have like a birth certificate or social security card or anything, a light bill, as they say, nothing in her name at all. It might be a little hard to get one.
Damn. Well,
she's oof.
At this moment.
She does. She talked about this with me at the time of the plea.
She's at Keystone right now, so she's got a lot of growing up to do. It isn't all her fault, but there may be economic issues that are going to stand in the way of her being successful. But I do.
wait. In order for me to go get a license, a lost license, you're telling me that
Guy has something to
need
prove who you are.
Social Security card? I guess that would make sense.
I believe she would be a good candidate for services.
What's the chances that girl knows what her social
Ms. Lee,
security
would
number
you
is?
Come up.
Mm.
Mr. Bush just sort of laid out Jaden's circumstances, which you're very aware of. She's a sparrow in a hurricane. She's 18. She has a child. She's about to have another child. Not much in the way of resources, issues with the child's father. Pretty overwhelming circumstance.
Did I miss that? There's like 3 of you in here saying herpes. I must have missed that part. Or you guys just making jokes? You say something? Did old John Bush say it sounded like herpes? Jesus Christ! I hope not.
Let's hope not. That's the gift keeps on giving.
That's
She's
what
got to tighten it up. She's got to tighten it up. I'm telling you.
Knocking you down. And did you have any medical bills?
I just had some x-rays done on my back because I was having back issues and headaches.
Well, you
Yeah.
also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't go at the time that it happened, which I guess I should have. So that's my error.
Are you asking for restitution?
I'll pay it.
Well, she doesn't really have the ability to pay
She
much of
can.
anything.
Yeah. she
Well,
don't have
you
money.
wanted her out of your house. Sounds like they were very disruptive to your household.
Yes.
Goes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished. You allowed them to move in there because they needed a place to be, but it greatly disrupted your life. So now she's just kind of on her own. Do you object to having contact with her?
Not at my place at this time.
Yeah, but so she can't live in your house, but you
No.
can, all right.
No, they cannot, no. I would like to have contact with her. She is my granddaughter. I love her.
Oh, grandma was the landlord.
That's,
That makes a little
You
more
know.
sense now with the DV.
she needs help.
Yes.
And I found out before all this happened, like a week or 2 before, that she had taken electrical wire and choked my dog. And took a needle and put some stuff in it. Because I have these because my husband was diabetic. So she got one of them, she put some liquid in it and shot on the back of my dog's neck. It's not healing. I can show you a picture if you'd like, but I need to know what she put in her so I can get it taken care of correctly.
Oh my God.
All right, Ms. Clark, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say that I have no idea what she's talking about the whole dog
All
situation.
right, so you're saying you did not inject anything into the dog?
No,
She's crazy.
no, Your Honor.
Oh
right.
boy.
I'm
She's crazy.
charged with that, but it certainly, if it's true, it's very troubling. Um,
And I've asked her to be charged. I just want to know
Yes.
what it was.
Yeah, I don't want to hang on this one because that's disturbing. But yeah, she said something about an electrical wire, and then she said something
Electrical
about
wire.
a syringe.
Yeah, because her
Something
husband had the diabetes, and that's crazy people stuff.
Oh,
That's the kind of stuff that
No,
you know. No, when somebody needs to be there immediately to take this baby from her as soon as she has it too, because she's insane.
so.
I hate to make that snap judgment, but my goodness.
Oh, but that's what I. Did she choke the dog? That would make, I guess. Oh God.
Yeah, she's evil.
she's denying it. You are very sad, and I guess you have cause to be. You got one child in foster care. What's your due date? May?
It's going to be August.
August. You don't get a lot of help. You're a Keystone. Are they trying to find a place for you to go?
Yes, yesterday I went up to the Freedom Center and got my ID, and I'm going to be able to find housing very soon.
What's the Freedom Center?
It's a church-run place right across the street, kind of a little bit down the road.
What town?
It's here in town.
In Centerville.
It's the Freedom around the corner.
Oh, the store,
Free store.
the free store. Okay. Oh, very good.
Yep.
They helped you get your ID?
Yeah, and they're also going to help me get
How'd they
this.
help you get your ID?
I kind of just walked in there because they helped me with getting my birth certificate before.
Where were you born?
In Sturgis Hospital.
All right, so your birth certificate's right here at the courthouse. So you got your ID from the Secretary of State?
There's a little, I forgot what it's called, but it's another little building here in town.
Hector, what did you do, Hector? Over there?
What the hell happened with you, Hector? You're a model citizen. I find that hard to believe.
They took my
Sorry,
picture
Hector.
and did kind of a paper ID, and then I take that to Secretary of State.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so you got ID to get ID.
Yeah.
All right.
See, she didn't
You have
get
your
it.
birth certificate?
Yes.
All right. And then they're gonna help you find a better place to go.
Yeah.
What about your child's father? Is he in the picture?
Yes, he stays there with me at the shelter.
All right. How old is he?
He's 20.
There's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be working someplace.
He is working.
Is he? Where's that?
He was working at Wendy's, but that wasn't paying enough. So
That's
he's
right.
Well,
Midwest Plastics now.
All right. There's some hope. There's a crack of light under the door.
Wendy's just don't pay enough anymore, Green.
nah, bad boys. Stupid commercial.
I'm
They're
gonna
in
do a
NASCAR.
12-month probation. It might take all 12 months. I'm gonna order 12 days jail credit 2. Of the 12 days, 10 are deferred. Your fine is 0 because you owe a bunch of other money. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee. I'm gonna waive the attorney fee also.
Samson.
Although Mr. Bush has earned it. There's a $480 probation oversight fee, which could be reduced and you're to pay for the class.
Nope. Enjoy your 300 minutes, Hector.
Is a different.
By the way, Grotto, I got some baked goods from Grotto. I have not looked at them yet. They just
Ooh.
showed up on the porch minutes before we went live.
Are you leaving them out on the porch to air out in case there's
Well,
any-
they're still out there because we just went live. So it'd be on the
Look
porch.
how there's dogs tearing into
We're gonna go to the women's anger management class that
raccoons.
you could greatly use. It'll help you as a mother also. It's a class I started when I was a prosecutor more than 30 years
It
ago.
was amazing.
And I've never talked to anybody who didn't think it was worthwhile. No drugs and no alcohol. I don't know if that's an issue. You're not even old enough to drink yet or use marijuana. Of course, you're pregnant also. Would anything be in your system?
Marijuana, yes.
All right, you're the second pregnant person smoking marijuana I've had in here today. No marijuana. We're gonna test. If you're gonna smoke marijuana while you're pregnant, I'll just put you in jail as long as I can and let you get out and have your baby.
Bye.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
Yes.
Oh, his face. I just made the same face too while she's pregnant. I was standing up and she said she choked her dog. Look what I flinched in horror. Hector, Sweet Tea says sorry.
Slip of the finger.
It happens.
They call her Trigger Finger.
Bob, watch out. Sweet Tea's on a tear today.
She's gone crazy.
She's gone rogue.
I'm trying to go back to see what timed them out. I can't get that far back. I
I would
don't think.
order that, but I'm not. I would highly recommend, as your OBGYN is going to tell you, don't smoke when you're pregnant.
I wish I could find it.
You seem like a nice young woman, but the emphasis is on young. You're very immature.
1 out of
One
2
child
ain't bad there.
put in foster care. You're about to have another child, and you're smoking marijuana. While
Wouldn't you have asked a little bit more about the dog thing?
Yes. 'Cause that's like some crazy stuff. And I don't think grandma's sitting around making shit up.
Right. That's the thing. That's if it was anybody, but I mean, grandma seems to be very
Brought her in and her loser boyfriend into her home,
yeah.
knocked her down, hurt her back. She's been having some headaches, which I believe has now been passed on to Judge Middleton. Hurts, yeah, she's out here, she's banging, smoking weed, and pregnant, and smoking cigarettes and pregnant. I don't know. He's giving her way too much credit.
He's can you tell how he's right on the edge of wanting to help her out, wanting to ask those questions. We've seen him before try to help as much as possible, but it's funny. It's almost like he's bouncing back and forth because he keeps hearing things like, I don't know, she's still smoking weed and smoking cigarettes while she's pregnant.
Yeah, and I think it's probably because of her age and the situation she's in right now that he isn't really just standing on her at this point saying, look, you're effing up right and left. Yeah, I think he's holding back a little bit, maybe because of her age and because of her situation being pregnant right now.
Well, I think that the grandma could make that part of the case, couldn't she? Considering that has something to do with it, I would imagine.
But it's crazy to hear.
That makes sense.
Regardless.
I think
behind the curtain.
Yeah, you're right though, Kay. You're right.
you're pregnant, you got anger issues, and you need a lot of help. And unfortunately, you're getting
Thank you,
some.
women. With an eye.
Miss Lee, I'm glad you were here. You can have contact with your grandmother, but you may not live there. All right. Let's just let this
Does
one
she
down.
want that?
What?
Does she want that?
Well, if she wants it, do you wish to have contact with her?
Yes, I was wondering, would I be able to stop by to see my sisters and father or no?
I guess if you can visit there, but you can't live there.
Okay.
No spending the night.
Yes.
No, okay.
Everybody in her family lives there. Her sisters and her father live at grandma's too.
That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Driscoll, I spoke with you a little while ago.
What a family.
Set this.
Yes, Jody, trust me, there's lots of weed-friendly things in the chat until you say that you're 18 and you're pregnant. With your second kid.
Maybe she should, just take a little time.
Maybe she should
understand that.
Slow down with her medicine, when you're pregnant. Anyway, it's just my thought.
This matter for sentencing review hearing. I didn't know what else to call it. Let's go back to the beginning.
All right, that's good to hear, though.
You're charged in a felony.
Didn't you say that last time you said it was much better than
it's a way higher quality item. I feel better about people purchasing the stuff that's right down below in our or under the store tab or shopping tab, whatever it's under on YouTube. But you need to be on Credence and Mikey in order to do any of the purchasing. But yeah, it is definitely worth the price.
Yes, last girl, for those of you coming in late, 18, second kid. She's currently pregnant.
One's in foster care.
And
DV on grandma. Been in fights with her boyfriend and basically living in a homeless shelter right now.
That's a tough one. I hope that somebody takes her under. But hey, I will say one good thing about her is it does seem that she's at least reaching out for some help for some things. Maybe.
Time
Let's hope
will tell.
she is anyways. That was disturbing, to say the least.
With assault with intent to do great bodily harm by strangulation and domestic violence that allegedly occurred in August of 2021.
Wow. Waiting on this one.
Matter was reduced at, I believe, the pre-exam conference to a misdemeanor charge of aggravated assault. It started as a prelim on Judge Patterson's docket, somehow came to mine. It got adjourned. Some newly discovered evidence, and then there was an issue because we needed a special prosecutor, and I believe the special prosecutor was going to be here. Mr. Marvin had represented Mr. Driscoll prior to the election, and then once Mr. Marvin was elected, we had to get a special prosecutor, so the case dragged out for a while. Lindsay Schaller, who had been an assistant prosecutor here in St. Joe County, was appointed. The defendant pled on October 21st to aggravated domestic violence.
Are we talking about why this is taking so long to get to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was getting ready to get very confused because I know there's
he's laying out the reason that this has been kind of dragging on, and now his ass is locked up.
I was almost confusing myself very quickly because I know there's a video out there that where he just kind of talks a little bit about the problem currently with some not having the tools that he needs as far as prosecutors and such at the moment.
There is a shortage.
Yes.
So to say.
And I believe he voiced some of his concerns about that. So, okay, I got it. So the dude's charges from 2021 and he's going through and we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So I adjourned the matter for sentencing. She had to go to the hospital. I wanted hospital information, restitution information, the police report, and victim input. And so I set the matter for sentencing for November 2nd of 2021. The defendant was sentenced at that time with Attorney John Bush on a charge of aggravated domestic assault to 13 days in jail, credit 1, and deferred 12 days, and he was under other conditions. He violated that probation, and there was a probation violation petition filed in December of 2021 that indicated he'd failed to report on a monthly basis, failed to pay fines and costs, failed to participate in the use of drugs or alcohol, or failed to abstain from the use of drugs or alcohol, failed to participate in treatment. Basically, shortly after he got put on probation, just sort of went off the map. At the probation violation arraignment in January of 2022, he pled not guilty, and the matter was set for a probation violation hearing. Defendant was found
Just
to be
dragging it out with all this
probation,
shit.
positive for marijuana, and he was given a jail sentence of 30 days, and he was to turn himself in at the jail on, I believe, March 5th of 2022, for that actual judgment. On March 3rd of 2022, he was ordered to
4 days.
31 days jail credit 1, leaving 30 days to serve. So he was sentenced. He was to turn himself in at 3 p.m. on March the 4th of 2022. And he didn't do that. I continued the probation, so I would have the authority to alter the sentence if he did not appear. He did not appear. A bench warrant issued for his arrest.
He's got a history, man.
March
I-
30th.
I told you.
Daniel, his probation
One thing after the other.
officer, wasn't able to do so. March
almost-
30th.
It's almost like he shows up, they set a date, he doesn't show up. And
Or then he goes and then he violates. And then he does the, I mean, it's just something that probably could have been done and over with already. He has strung out and drug out by just being a complete piece of crap. By the way, Kat, welcome, Kat. I saw Kat. It was Kat's first time hanging out with us, and wanted to make sure I did say hello and thank you to Kat. Appreciate it.
Cat angry by any chance, or that one?
That one's an angry cat.
All right.
2022, the bench warrant issued. I think Mr. Bush was listening at the previous hearing, and then nothing else ever happened. Now the appearance was filed. The defendant was AWOL, and he got arrested about 20 days ago. So we did an arraignment with Keith Stickley, the chief public defender, and I canceled his bond under the conclusion that he'd already been sentenced 30 days jail, credit 1, 31 days jail, credit 1, that he owed 30 days of jail. I didn't pursue a further probation violation. I didn't pursue a contempt for his failure to appear. I simply set the matter for a review today.
Well, this dude
But
did
in my
well.
mind, Mr. Stanley, the sentence has already been imposed in this matter. The defendant, for his own reasons, didn't show up or ever come back. And when he was apprehended, I just left the original sentence. Discussed this earlier with Judge Pattison. So, well, if he wants a hearing, I guess you can find contempt and do 93 days in jail or pursue a probation violation because he was still on probation at the time he failed to appear. Anyway, my goal was to just put this thing to rest. He's now done 20 days of the 30. He gets 5 days a month good time. And if nothing else happens, he'll get out of jail in 5 days, at which time I would revoke his probation because he's been a very poor probationer.
To say the least.
So having said all that, what's your position here?
Well, respectfully, Your Honor, as I told the court, when I came into the courtroom, court asked if I needed time to meet with my client. The deputies made him available to me. And I indicated to them and to the court that I came down here on January the 12th. I met with him at length. And I believe I still have his authority to speak for him here. I want to be cautious how I express this to the court because I don't want the court to perceive, and I truthfully don't believe as an officer of the court, Mr. Driscoll wishes this to be perceived as an excuse. But if there's ever been a client, I have seen a vast change of attitude from a year ago until today. It is this young man. And there's a reason for it. And I'll try to be brief in my comments.
Young man, where?
Understand what the court's saying and where we're likely going here. But just in terms of respect for this court, I think the court's entitled to know this. The court is correct. I did file. I was retained by the family almost a year ago, particularly by his mother, because she feels the underlying charges didn't have any real merit and the complainant case was lying and just very supportive of her son. And to a degree, he supported that. So what he wished to do is have me not just handle any probation violation or resentencing, but try to set it aside. And I think it's fair to say at that time, he was certainly listening to his mother, and he was of the opinion that he didn't think he'd been treated fairly. I then made arrangements.
He didn't think he was treated fairly?
What? That young man isn't getting a fair shake. Is that what we're saying?
I think it sounds like there's been a lot of leniency up until this point. That's just me, though.
His mother has paid me to say that I don't think he's been treated right.
That's the way I'd be lawyering. That exactly.
Mama gave me a lot of money to say this, Judge.
And he was going to meet me down here. I contacted the sheriff's department, the court, the prosecutor's office. We had an agreement that I was going to turn him in on February the 14th, and I was actually literally driving down here February the 14th of 2023. And I was literally driving down here when I got word that he simply had panicked by some events going on in his life and was so concerned about being locked up and kind of this overall feeling that his sentence wasn't justified because the underlying facts, not because the court made an error, but because the complainant presented these facts, and he did not show up. I turned around.
I literally was driving down to meet him. Wendy, thank you. One for the main channel. Appreciate you. Don't forget tonight 5:30 East is members only for we got a Chase channel, right?
Yeah. Possible melon alert.
This young man.
This young child beside me has not yet got to the point of maturity yet.
That's what I mean. I mean, you're talking about 30 days here, years later. I mean, so far, the madness.
On head back to Grand Rapids, I documented everything in my file in a memorandum. What I'm more interested in talking about and trying to convey to the court. So when I came down here to find out what happened, why he did that, and what's happened in the year, I was shocked because I almost thought I was talking to a different client. Once he was incarcerated because he had served about 16 days or 14 days in jail when I came to see him, just a vastly different attitude. Having been locked up was quite an eye opener for him. He realized how much he'd hurt his family because in the interim, some things have developed that are very difficult for him. He has two children, who is a boy whose birthday is 12, he's 11 years old, and a young lady.
Babies having babies. Am I right, guys?
And she's 16 years of age. While he has joint custody, for all practical purposes, he has full custody because their mother has significant drug abuse problems and is kind of off the rails. And so he has been responsible for raising these kids. And from last year to this year, he's developed an entirely different relationship with his kids and feels a tremendous sense of responsibility to them. So now all of a sudden to have been locked up is really been an eye opener how much he's hurt his family by some very poor choices on his part. And he's acknowledged to me those poor choices. It's just a totally different attitude from this young man from when I met with him a year ago. The other second fact that's going on in his life, and I have some documentation.
So just to be clear, the 15 days that he put in, he's a changed man. He's found Jesus, Your Honor.
He's aged tremendously too, Your Honor. I mean, he was just but a young chap when he went in. Now look at him.
Whole attitude. So
a shell of his former self.
By the way, we got a case channel. Thank you so much. There you go. There's 5 freebies for We Got a Case channel.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Confirm if the court would like to review it. But his father also has a very rare type of blood infection, cancer, and is not expected to live very long. And he was providing a great deal of care for his father too. So as a result of his very poor, immature choices, his words.
Simon, absolutely not. So I have a feeling you guys are up to something. I'm not sure what, because I'm trying to watch the damn case happen.
putting together
he
this
realizes
case.
that he's really hurt his family. So he's expressed to me, and he'd like to express to the court, we're not asking for a hearing. I indicated to him we could certainly have a hearing. We could test these issues. He wished last week and instructed me to directly tell the court. He wanted to apologize to the court for his conduct, his irresponsible decisions a year ago, and he realizes how much the court that has hurt the court and it's hurt his family. And he simply wishes to get back to his family so he can attend to their needs as soon as possible. So not by way of an apology or an excuse. Well, it is his apology, of course, but not as an excuse, as an explanation for why he feels so different today than he did February of 2023. And he hopes the court would simply accept that. He expressed it himself, and wishes the court would just go along with the original sentence and not consequence him more than that. I did explain to him the court's latitude, and since he was continued on probation, in fact, he could face more confinement, and he understands that, but he still wishes to accept responsibility, apologize to the court, and hope the court will be lenient so he can get back to his father and children as soon as possible. These children don't have, for all practical purposes, anybody else to really properly take care of them. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Driscoll, is there anything you wish to say?
I want to right my wrongs, Your Honor. I want to become the family man that I need to be. It's been very hard on me, having this over my head and trying to be the father I need to be and the son I need to be.
I mean, I said this is a wacky ass case here on this one. And Tiny Piggy, we got a case. We got to change. Thanks.
5 more freebies. Enjoy.
I don't like this guy.
I don't either. I think he's full of shit.
I just can't imagine that Middleton's buying anything that the lawyer just said. And look at just looking at him like, oh,
it's all right.
You've done so well.
Your mom sent cookies.
They're
in my pocket. Take one.
15 days I know made you change so much.
I know that you've now become such a great man.
Yeah, I wish we were like Kit Boga and we had to, whenever they go to start acting about sending over the wrong amount of money and it transitions to where it's like you're in a movie theater. It's all that's what we need right now. Such bullshit. Thank you to We Got a Chase channel. Appreciate the $2. I'm getting really messed up today.
I've learned a lot in the last few weeks of being here. I actually was saved the other day.
What happened?
I want to continue that. I want to take what I've learned home to my children as well.
Bullshit. What happened there?
Fat fingers.
Well, we can bring this to a close. Mr. Stanley, I'm not sure how much of this is methamphetamine. What we find often is when you lock somebody up for about 2 weeks, they turn back into the person that they used to be. I can see the difference with Mr. Driscoll right here, and you saw it yourself. So I think we were dealing with some other issues that are outside the purview of this. I was not concerned about the veracity of the plea. He was charged with strangulation offense. The complainant was injured. She went to the hospital and was treated. The daughter witnessed what happened. He pushed her into the gate. And then the son got in there. And it was not a very good situation. It was reduced to a misdemeanor. I adjourned it to get more information. I did the sentence. I gave him 13 days, credit 1 with no additional jail time, and put him on a probation. And I believe because of methamphetamine, he didn't do anything. He just sort of went, I don't know, he felt he was treated unfairly. I thought he got a sweet plea offer and a generous sentence from me. So then I gave him only 30 days and the courtesy of allowing him to turn himself in. which he didn't do. And then he had an excuse for everything. And the excuse is you need to look in the mirror. So you've got 20 clean days. You've had some spiritual exploration. And I don't see the need at this point to pile it up. But I'm not very happy about it. You wasted a lot of our time, the court's time, the jail's time. This would have all been over with 2 years ago. If you just shown up, they probably would have made you a trustee and you would have been out in about 17 days. Well, so I'm just going to confirm the original sentence
You'll be eating mom's cookies before you know it.
of 3/2/22, 30 days.
Did you get a message about the mom's taco?
No.
Oh, no.
And look at the size of my mom's taco.
20. Going to revoke your probation. This probation was a total failure.
Yits.
One of the concerning things about this is he lived right at Three Rivers at the same house where all this went down. And he managed to stay under the radar 4 blocks from the police department for 2 years. But now this matter's done. I think you've been struggling with some addiction issues. I think your family's suffering. I think this is a good start for you to kind of turn things around. I'm not going to continue to supervise this as a probation. You never did anything you were supposed to do. And then I gave you a break and you poked me in the eye with a stick. And then you wanted to talk about it at the time of the hearing. Yeah, again, you had an excuse for everything. You're much more rational and reasonable. And this is the way I remember you in the past. So I hope you can continue this for your sake and the sake of your family. The original sentence remains 30 days. You now have credit 20. Your probation is revoked. And I'm not going to try to collect any money. Get your ship right. I won't see you again. If you
get your shit right
by 4th of July.
Did he?
Back that up just a little bit. It's not like he said, get your shit right, and I won't see you back here.
Let's go back about 10 seconds.
Your ship right, I won't see you again.
Oh.
If you don't, I'll see you by 4th of July.
If not, I'll see you by 4th of July.
So I hope you can do that. All right, you're good to go.
Wow, what a day of cases. I still don't believe that guy 1 second. He's
Miserable.
Yeah, he's miserable.
Stop eating.
I'm not eating anything, Judge Middleton. I'm kind of surprised he didn't throw the book at him. I think he wants to. But it looks like maybe he's giving him one last chance because he does seem to be more clean.
Got it together. But again, most people are that are drug addicts after 20 days of being clean.
Right.
Point is, once he gets out after these 10 more days he has to serve, is he going to maintain that? Is he going to still stay clean? Is he going to be this father to these children that he claims he wants to be, remembering that his baby mama is a drug addict?
And the 18-year-old girl, I hope that she gets her life worked out. Feel bad for grandma on that one. And then the first of Jesus. Yeah, those three crazy ones. By the way, if I forgot Tiny Piggy's name and didn't say anything, I'm not sure what you guys were talking about, but sorry. I'm about to say it again, though, I think.
Yeah, at least twice.
My goodness, it's Monday Express. Flusha was first. Thank you, Gary. There you is, Gary. Governor Lisa, thank you. Nancy M, Wendy, Simon J. No, just kidding. Tiny Piggy, thank you so much. Simon J. Tiny Piggy times Dieu. Tiny Piggy, thank you so much. And Tiny Piggy, thank you.
Thank you, Tiny Piggy.
Did I make up for
Sven, if you're here. Hello, Sven.
Hi, Sven.
Real quick, somebody that we used to watch all the time. We would watch live court just jumping around. Judge Fink. Fink's been gone a while, but for some reason she came back and done a few days worth of cases that needed to be on YouTube. So these are like the video that you're going to see at 3:00 today, an hour from now, from Judge Fink, is over 3 days compiled into one video. All the cases are really good, from a bad mama to a road rager just shooting at folks and running from the law to a guy who's goes absolutely crazy during his hearing, so bad that she runs him off.
Debbie.
You want to see what happens with that? Make sure you're there at 3 p.m. Eastern over on Credence and Mikey for all the premiering action. Yeah.
Well,
that sounds like it's time for us to go. I hear. Judge is getting angry, so we should probably wrap this thing up. Do us a huge favor, like the video if you haven't done so already, because without those likes, we might as well not have done this show, because YouTube will not help us out at all. So hit the like, leave a comment, do all that good stuff before Middleton yells at you. Stay hard. Stay tuned.
What's the bailiff out front? 606.
We'll see you for the next one.
You're digging your hole. You hit bottom and you're continuing to dig. You stupid motherfucker. You're digging all over the place. You got a window behind you. There's hundreds of people watching this proceeding.